social media post here from the President of the United States. He is calling for a Department of Justice investigation into J.P. Morgan, former President Bill Clinton, and others.
Bill, hear me out. I need you to do us a favor. It's time to take one for the team. Let's talk about it.
Involved in relationships with Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what the president said on social media just a short time ago. He says, now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all their other failures, I will be asking Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, J.P. Morgan Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. He goes on to say, records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island. Stay tuned. So this presents a significant challenge for those individuals and institutions that the president is suggesting he is going to turn the Department of Justice onto. Clearly, there's a history with a number of these individuals and institutions with Jeffrey Epstein. The potential for embarrassing headlines is certainly there for all of them. And it represents a political response here from the President of the United States, who has been under fire for several days now from new emails released on Capitol Hill that show Jeffrey Epstein in emails years before his death discussing his deep and ongoing relationship with Donald Trump that was active for several decades and ended abruptly around 2004. All of that pressure from the Epstein scandal on the president and this White House now appearing to result in a social media post in which the president is demanding that his Department of Justice investigate others for their relationships with Jeffrey Epstein. So we'll see what the White House has to say about this. Any additional detail from the Department of Justice on where this investigation might go.
Okay, we'll talk about the rest of the new emails later. There's more stuff coming out, guys. More. But you know, the pressure is increasing. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys something. Oh, no, not that. Whoa, hey. Okay, between Jeffrey and his brother, Mark, I didn't know what his name was. But if this is true, this ties together a bunch of stuff. You remember all that Russia stuff? You know how we had wind of maybe there being something compromising and that dear old Putin may have such information. You guys remember that? Pause at your leisure. Just read that bit above there. If that's correct, look at that. It gets even better. Look down below. I don't know what that means yet. Guys. But I do know one thing. Mr. President, we need to have a talk. No, not that one. I'm talking about you. If any of this is true, sir, especially the photos of you and our current president or videos or whatever, I think you should make it very clear and very obvious that it is the true, and bring all the evidence you can. Bring it. So you need to take one for the team. No, it might not be great for your image, but I swear this might be an ironic straw that broke the camel's back. It's kind of interesting because all of the rest of the stuff that's been coming out would already be slam dunk for any other previous person in that seat, right? You remember. But that stuff has not worked for him. The people who still love him have not cared about the other stuff. 1 second.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years.
Okay, so if there are already people making excuses for that, right? right? You saw that. If somehow the Teflon Don can just let that slip by, you know, they're already prepping the stage for that. They were 15. And maybe you, Bill, maybe you can save the day. And it'll be ironic because it's something that if I don't know what that means, but if there was something involving both of you together, that is one thing that the group that still supports him doesn't like at all for some reason. I'm cool with it. Whatever you guys do is whatever you guys do, as long as it's not the other stuff that we just talked about. Megan Kelly was talking about, as long as it's not that. But if you guys are just two grown men doing, you know, having fun together, I don't care, but they do, and that'd be awesome. So please, Mr. President, take one for the team if it's true. If it's not, then you know. But I think you should get at that before he gets at you. You saw that headline. All right, that's enough. And if you guys see this, give me a bunch of likes and shares and all that good stuff. I only say this because I'm curious to see how far this goes through. Usually if I do videos like this, we'll see what happens. All right, I'm done. Happy Friday.